and heat is what today's class is about, or rather Pitta, and exploring a little bit of the 3 doshas of Ayurveda, which is a science that is kind of like a sister science to yoga. So yeah, 81 and cloudy. Okay, that's not too bad. Ventura about 70. Okay, that's nice. Nevada 84. All right. Yeah, Lakewood 97. Here down in Denver, it's I think we got to 102 today. It's feeling a little bit hot. So that is going to be, oh, nice, 75. Woo! Alaska 62. That's sweet. Don't worry, if it's not hot where you are, this actually still applies also to this time of day, which is the Vata time of day, which is fire. And so in yoga, we can actually start to use the anasana practice, a physical practice, to balance out our doshas. So right now, especially if you're, coming off of work or down from the work day, up until about 6:00 p.m., we have a lot of vata, which is like the fire element. And so to calm that and to counteract that, and also to start to feel a little bit more calm and balanced, we introduce a yoga practice that is just that. It's really about tuning in, about slowing down. As always, you might still get some heat in here just from the long holds that we're going to do. But overall, we want this to be a really calming practice tonight, and that is the goal. So to start, just come to a comfortable seated position. I'm going to put on some nice calm music. 84, Michelle. That seems like hot though for Washington still. Do a share. Okay. Alrighty. So, coming to a comfortable seat. Close your eyes. Begin to seal your lips so that your breath flows in and out through your nose. And you might need to slow down your breathing or clear your nostrils to get any of that mucus from maybe fires or seasonal allergies out of the way, so that you can breathe through both nostrils. And so to talk a little bit more about these doshas, there are 3 doshas that we use to classify ourselves, the way that we're feeling. And they're composed of the 5 elements. So in Ayurvedic medicine, there is wind, space, fire, earth, and water. And Vata is the first. It is wind and space. So people that have a lot of Vata can be sometimes very dreamy, have good ideas, but sometimes they're maybe a little bit disconnected. The next is Pitta, which is fire and water. But if you think about it, fire plus water makes steam, which is, can be it runs engines, right? Steam. So you've got a lot of energy. You're going. You're also very headstrong. But sometimes you can be a little dominating if you're if you have a lot of Pitta in your system. And then the third one is Kapha. And so Kapha is water and earth. And as you can imagine, water and earth are kind of fluid, but also grounded. If you have too much of this quality, then you can be lethargic. Tonight's class, though, balancing that Pitta, that fire, that move, we're going to introduce a Kapha practice. So water and earth, so something that's fluid and grounding. And these are, attributes of nature, but they're attributes that can be experienced in our body. And to do tonight's practice, to kick it off, we're going to move through some very basic postures, focusing on transitions and holds. And we're going to take these postures and draw them out for 1 minute. I tried to do this with my singing bowl earlier in Zoom Live, and it does not work to have a singing bowl over the audio of Zoom. So I'm instead going to use a little timer on my watch for those 1 minute. So don't so much worry about the time, but instead slow down, ground, connect, and see if you can really tune into how these asanas start to shift in your body over time. Okay. So to start, we're going to come to downward facing dog. All right, so in your down dog, you'll set yourself up by coming into a plank position and then bending your knees gently and pressing up and back. If you're joining with very tight hips today, then open your legs out a little bit wider. And I will start my little timer now. So still tuning into your breath. Breathing in and out, grounding your feet. Pressing strongly through your hands to lift your hips a little bit higher. Relax your neck down. With each breath in, see if you can reach the base of your spine up and let the top of your spine relax. With each exhale, notice your connection down to the earth. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, you'll begin your transition back into Uttanasana forward fold. So a slow, meandering walk to the front of your mat. Once you get to the front of your mat, you can open your feet out, hip width, or maybe even a little bit wider. Bend your knees gently, since this is the first opening into our hamstrings tonight. Let your fingertips drag on the floor or grab your legs if that feels better. And relax the crown of your head down, so that the weight of your head can be used to find a little extension in your spine. An elongation, a little bit of space in between each of those vertebrae. Notice your inhale in your tummy against the top of your legs. If you can keep your breath nice and smooth as you begin to unfurl your spine by pressing into your feet to come all the way up to standing. Once you get up, stretch your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. If your feet were wide, then heel toe them gently in so that they are hip-width distance apart. Press down through your feet, so your heels, and then the pads behind your toes that run all the way across the top of your foot. Stretch through your fingertips, keep your core engaged. Breathe. Feel strong by pressing down to rise up. Bring your palms together. Start to draw your palms down the midline of your body. Once your thumbs draw past your heart, begin to hinge at your hips, coming into your forward fold, Uttanasana again. Relax the crown of your head. If you'd like to get a little bit deeper in this fold, maybe move your hands behind your shins to gently compress your ribs into your thighs. Let the crown of your head relax. Feel your spine get long. Keep breathing. Inhale, maybe press through your feet to lift your hips a little bit higher. And exhale, feet come down. And then with your hands, release them down to the mat. Bend your knees gently. You're going to take your right foot, step it back into a lunge, and then bring the right heel down so that the heel and the arch align. Slowly open up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Stretch your lunge out nice and long so that you challenge this left leg to stack over your ankle. Reach your arms in opposite directions. And then do your best not to lean forward or back. I prefer to keep my chin in line with my spine, with my sternum during my Warrior 2 pose. Keeps you nice and centered right over both feet. And then notice your pelvic alignment. If it's tipping forward or back, draw it straight down. Inhale, come up to star pose. So now you feel a nice evenness, pressing through both feet, and both feet will reach towards the side of the mat. So you feel the outside edge. It's a nice balancing position between the lunges. So we'll be going to the back of the mat next. And then as you press through your feet, you can feel that earth-like quality. Your pillar growing tall. And it's only by this strong foundation that your arms are able to reach up. Feel your fingertips as though they were open and there was energy funneling out of them. Breath in and out. Relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale and exhale. You're going to take that right foot, the back foot, lift up your toes, pivot on your heel, come into your Warrior 2, now facing towards the back of your mat. You want to make sure that again, you have that heel to arch alignment. So your body is centered. Choose whether or not your chin is forward or maybe centered over your chest. Reach your fingertips out. Relax your shoulders down. You can try to bring your palms up. That will draw your shoulder blades down your back and then bring them back, palms facing down. Notice the tendency to want to push out of this front lunge, to push away. Instead, see if you can lean into that front lunge a little bit more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel a wind gently lifting your arms up to keep them balanced. And on your next exhale, cartwheel both hands down to frame your right foot. Lift your back heel up. You're going to transition now to the back of your mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Again, you can bend your knees gently if that feels good. Another option for this forward fold, you can lift your toes up and place the palms of your hands against the bottom of your feet. Get a little bit more grounding through feet. Notice if you're able to get a little bit deeper in this fold, if your hamstrings started to open. Keep your inhale and exhale nice and consistent. The same length for your inhale, the same length for your exhale. And maybe finding a brief pause before you initiate your breath in and your breath out. Then on your next breath in, slowly start to come back up. Urdhva Hastasana. Once your spine unfurls, reaching your arms up, finding that nice, straight, long posture. And as you stand here erect and tall, pull your hips, shoulders, chin in line. You'll notice when you're tipping forward, maybe even letting your chin drop, the weight will move into your toes. You'll also notice if you're letting the weight of your upper body sag, your glutes typically will come out. Pull that pelvis in line. On your exhale, bring your palms together and slowly draw them down through midline. Once your thumbs glide past your heart, begin to hinge. Come back down to that forward fold, Uttanasana. Take any variation, hands behind shins, grounding of the palms, or just simply letting your fingers dangle down. Imagining that you were a water plant, gliding a little bit side to side with the ebb and flow of whatever body of water you're in. Really tuning into that water element. Still having roots down into the soil at the base of the lake or the pond or the ocean. But feeling your body manipulated by that gentle movement of water. Then relax your hands down. You're going to take your left leg and step it back about 3 to 4 feet. Start to straighten your right leg, shift your arms back. for pyramid pose. Now, if this is a lot on your hamstring, you can always bring your hands to that front shin. They don't come down to the ground. You can bring just pointer fingers as little stilts underneath your hands. Or I like to use a water bottle, which I typically have handy, as another prop. And that would be placed on the inside of your right leg. Again, keeping both feet grounded down. Start to breathe into that front hamstring and stretching out that left back calf. Feel a gentle hinge and fold at your hips. Inhale. As you exhale, start to walk your hands over to the left side. Pivot on your feet to a wide leg forward fold, prasarita, again facing the side of the mat. You can grab outside of your heels and ankles, opposite elbows. Hang down, finding a nice centered pose. So symmetrical on the left and the right side. As you press your feet down, feel that equal and opposite reaction climb up your legs, all the way to the very base of your spine, which at this pose is the height of the pose, the highest point. And then as you exhale, imagine that same energy dropping down your spine and rolling off your head. Press your palms into the mat. Slowly start to walk yourself more to the left. So now your left foot is at the front of your mat. Right foot is in the back. Pyramid pose. Again, but different leg in the front. Bring in any props. Notice if you're locking out in this front knee. If you are, a gentle bend forward, and I like to pull my toes up off the mat so that there is an energy, an integration in muscles here. It just turns on the feet a little bit more. You'll see your arch start to rise. You can always make this a little bit shorter or longer, adjusting your stance from prasarita back into pyramid. Slowly start to bend into your left leg. Place your hands down on the mat and then step back into your downward facing dog. Relax your head down, press into your feet, spread your palms. Exhale, feel your chest relax between your arms. See if you can draw your elbow tips towards each other so the eyes of your elbow start to shine a little bit more forward. It was as though you were externally rotating your arms, but then once you get down to your wrists, press down more through your thumb and pointer finger. So now you're internally rotating at the base of your arm, your palm. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your knees down and wide. Bring your big toes together to touch. Slowly press your hips back. Stretch your hands forward. Gently sway your hips from side to side, working them down a little bit closer to your heels. Keep your hands long, and then finally, let your forehead come down. As you relax down into this child's pose. See if you can let the third eye, that space right in the middle of your forehead, be heavy down onto the mat. Let it start to melt so that any tension behind that spot begins to dissipate, dissolve. For your next inhale, slowly come up to all fours. Bring your knees in, shins together, and then sit back on your heels. So that was our potentially very challenging, or it also might feel really good to slow down to you today. I know the first time I tried this exercise, drawing out each asana posture for a minute, it was really hard for my mind. It was really hard to hold Virabhadrasana 1 or 2 rather for so long, the warrior 2 position. But it was really a good introduction eventually into yin too, to see how holding a pose for 10, 15, 20 breaths can start to sink in and then get even a little bit deeper into your body. So I hope you experienced that, as well as a little bit of grounding earth and water. We're going to start to transition onto our back, begin to flow a little bit more, and turn on our core. So on your back, you just start by bringing your knees up to a 90-degree bend, flexing your feet back. So we're going to bring a little bit more of that Agni, that fire, one of those elements, Pitta, back into our back. So we douse the fire out. Now let's just start to bring it a little bit back. As you curl your toes back and you challenge yourself by bringing your knees over your hips, you'll feel your lower abdominals turn on. Take your palms out to the side at a 45-degree angle. Keep your knees pressing towards each other, squeezing. Inhale. Exhale, drop both knees towards the left, hovering off the ground. Try not to let them just collapse down with a spinal twist, but instead hovering. As you inhale, draw your knees back up to center. And then exhale over to the right. Again, just to hover. I'm going to do this facing you now. Inhale, come back up into center. With the arms wrapped in like outriggers. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, come back up to center. Now channel still water. Let this start to be fluid. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to center. If you'd like to, you can extend your legs straight up and then over to the left a little bit harder because the weight of your body is farther away from midline. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale over to the right. Really use that right palm here. Press it into the ground. Slowly bring your legs back up. Inhale. Exhale over to the left. So you're pausing just briefly through midline. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale, come back to center. Bend your knees, place your feet down onto the mat. Palms down. Begin to press your hips up. And you want your feet to be hip width distance apart. So in your bridge pose, as you set up, can lift your gaze up to your legs, and your femurs should be running parallel with each other. Then as you press up, notice how the weight wants to go to the outside of your feet, to the pinky edge of your toes. Press down more through your big toe mount, so your full foot is fully planted on the ground. And then reach down with your hands, see if you can grab your mats. Walk your shoulders underneath your chest, so your chest starts to open, and then pull the mat in two. Press your hips up. Press your feet down. Inhale. Exhale, hold, sustain this energy. Pull that mat apart, inhale. And exhale. See if you can relax your glutes. Press more through your feet. Gently press the back of your head into the mat. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And release your hand. Slowly roll your spine down to the mat. Again, lift your legs up to a 90-degree bend. Spread your toes. Bring your knees together. Lower your heels down so that your shins are parallel. This time, interlace your hands. Bring them to the base of your neck so that your thumbs come right at the top of your spine, supporting the weight of your head. Wrap your elbow tips around so you can see them in your side vision. Take a breath in. Exhale, curl straight up. So right here, both shoulder blades are off the mat. All right, your typical crunch. We're gonna start to bring this into some forest abs. Inhale, lower down halfway. Exhale, curl up, and then bring both elbow tips to the left. You could squeeze your elbow tips together. Both shoulder blades should still be off the mat. Draw your navel down. Inhale, center. Keep a little hover, a little air pocket underneath the top of your shoulders. Exhale, curl both elbow tips up and over to the right. Draw your navel down. Keep your knees over your hips. Don't let them come forward. Inhale, back to center. Pillow under your shoulders. Don't let them touch. Exhale, curl up over to the left. Stay here or extend your right leg at a 45. As though you were pressing the gas. Your foot is flexed, but you're pushing through the ball of your foot. Inhale, center. Lower those shins down. Exhale, curl up and over to the right side. Hold here, take an inhale. Exhale, press the left foot forward. Keep your elbow tips going to the right. Pushing on the brake. Inhale, center. We're gonna do that one more time each side. All right, this is that Pitta coming in. Exhale, curl up, both elbow tips over to the left. Exhale, press the right foot forward. Keep the hold of the grunge. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, curl up over to the right. Inhale, hold. Exhale, press your left foot forward. Inhale, come back to center. Lower your head down. Lower your feet down. Let your knees drop left and right. You can heel toe your feet out a little bit wider. Maybe all the way to the edges of your mat. And then when your knees drop next to the left paws, hold. Press your right knee more forward. Feel a stretch across the top of your hip. Inhale, come back up to center. Drop both knees over to the right. Press that left knee forward. Feel a stretch all the way along the outside of that left hip. Going all the way to the top of the femur head. Inhale, come back up to center. Then bring your feet together, roll onto one side, and then slowly come up to all fours. We're going to do a brief dolphin pose. Bringing your forearms down to the mat. Grab opposite biceps. And then press your hands down. Tuck your toes. You want your forearms to be parallel. Fingers wide, just like in downward facing dog. Lift your knees up. Move your gaze back. Take an inhale, lift your hips high, walk your toes forward. Exhale, shift the weight back by pressing more through your forearms. Keep your thumbs pressing down into the mat. Relax your head, and the crown of your head should be elevated off of the mat by about an inch or so. It's not very much. Breathe in and out. Feel your upper back expand. Deep breath in. Feel your heels drop down as you exhale. One more time, deep breath in and out. Slowly bring your knees down, open them out wide, big toes together to touch and press back. Child's pose. Second time here, keep your fingers long, stretching forward, hips nestled over your heels. Transitioning out of our core work and now into a little bit more of a flow. So this flow is a little bit more like Vata, and that is the wind and space dosha. So we've done a Kapha, a very slow grounding start. Brought in a little bit more Pitta in our core work. And now we'll start to flow. So slowly come up into all fours. Tuck your toes. And you'll make your way all the way to the front of your mat. Close out the top. Cut off my air supply. So in your Uttanasana forward fold, press your feet down slowly. Come all the way up. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Now imagine, again, that you're channeling that wind and space. So as we move, taking up lots of room on the mat and letting yourself glide if you can. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands down. Step your left leg back. Come into a lunge and then lower your left knee down. Press your back foot down. Inhale, rise up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Right knee comes forward. Inhale, lift your gaze, open your chest. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Once your thumbs reach your heart, they'll hinge forward, this time coming into a gentle twist. Elbow outside of your knee. Now, if this twist is too much, then you can always take it to the inside. Just uses a little bit more core work to keep you elevated. You can also bring your left hand down to the inside of your foot and your right hand to your knee. And that will be a lot more gentle. Also, if anybody is pregnant, this is a better option. Take a breath in and out. Then slowly release your hands, frame your front foot, and start to straighten your right leg. Peel your right toes up. Maybe shift your heel a little bit more forward. Coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Curl your toes up, ground that heel down, and pull your right femur head back so your hips are square. Breathe in and out, lowering your chest slightly, making it fluid. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down, light, airy movements. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, bring your right foot back forward, plant your hands, tuck your left toes and step back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower down all the way to your mat. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, rise up, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Elbow tips in, chest is lifted. Exhale, lower, tuck your toes, press up and back, down dog. Just briefly here, inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Long lunge, draw your chest through and then lower your right knee down. Press the top of your right foot down. Inhale, reach your arms up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale, heel toe your left foot, the front leg, a little bit over to the left side of the mat. Lower both of your hands to the inside of your left leg for a runner's lunge. You can stay here, maybe walking your elbow tips down, finger pads forward. Or if you'd like a little bit more of side body stretch this is, we're gonna do a rainbow lunge. So to do that, you're gonna tuck your back toes and lift up. Take this left leg, walk it back slightly so you can see it's behind my hands. Then you're gonna take the right heel, drop it, and spin on your left heel, toes out to the side. Lift your left hand up and reach it behind you. So the weight of your body is really into this right front palm. And you can see my right shoulder shrugging up. Reach your fingertips back. Inhale, press up, arc up like a rainbow. It's a little bit of Pitta in here, right? It's a little bit of heat and some water. That's what makes a rainbow. Reach back. Air, some water. Inhale, up overhead. And exhale back. Left hand towards right foot. Last time, inhale up. Really pressing with this front leg to lift my hips. And exhale down. Inhale, come all the way up, plant both hands. Pivot your left toes forward. And then big step to the front of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, all the way down. Right leg steps back. Come into your nice long lunge. And then bring the right knee down. Press the top of your right foot down. Inhale, sweep both arms up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge, hips come forward, chest lifts, core stays engaged. I think that's the toughest thing for me. I can really just like hang out here, this low lunge, but it's not doing my low back any good if I don't keep my core engaged. So make sure that even in this really loose, airy flow, that you're keeping integration in your core. Not getting too out there, too dreamy. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Once your thumbs reach your heart, you'll start to hinge forward and pivot, coming into that twist. So prayer twist or Right palm down, left hand on the left upper thigh, or lower thigh rather, right above the knee. And then just shifting your shoulders that way. Take a breath in. And then your next exhale, bring both hands to frame your front left foot. Breathe in. And out, shift your hips back. Curl your left toes up, round your left heel down. Keep a micro bend in that left knee as you pull the left leg back. And exhale, maybe fold. Inhale, come out. Exhale down, letting your lungs be like bellows. Guiding this gentle movement, getting deeper, closer to that edge, and then pressing away from it. And then once you come back up, come back forward into your lunge, plant your hands, step your left foot back to meet your right. Inhale, rock forward, exhale all the way down. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, cobra pose, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes, inhale, press up and back. Downward facing dog, left leg lifts, inhale. Or right leg lifts, sorry. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Come into your nice long lunge. And then lower your right knee, left knee down, top left foot down. Inhale, sweep both of your arms up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And out. One more time, inhale. Heel toe the right foot over to the right side of the mat. And then exhale, bring both of your palms down to the inside of your right foot. Runner's lunge. Stay here for a breath. Decide if you want to move deeper into your runner's lunge or try that rainbow lunge. So, rainbow lunge, the right foot will come back. Left toes will tuck and your left leg will get nice and strong. Pivot on the right heel, right toes out to the side, and then drop your left heel down. Weight comes into that left arm. Let your hips start to sag down, so you're stretching that side body long, and reach your right hand towards your left foot. Just hanging out here. Nice loungy lunge. Keep that integration. This straight leg should be super strong. Inhale, press up, arch up overhead, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale overhead. Keep your feet as those integration points so you stay grounded. Exhale down. Inhale up overhead. Plant both hands, pivot on your feet, and step the left foot forward. Hip width distance apart, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, press through your feet, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hand down to heart center, pause. Let your thumbs rest on your heart. Find a little reset. Now moving into some balance. And so for me, this balancing component at the end, it's not going to be too tricky, but I think that it's a great way to integrate all three doshas. So the goal is not to be one primary, but instead to find a nice balance of perfection that is different parts of all three that works for you. So the Pitta, the fire and water, the Vata, wind and space, and Kapha, water and air, but water and earth, the grounding one. So our feet have to stay grounded. Our limbs need to move light in our upper body. And then our core, our strength, our Agni, fire, needs to stay integrated to stand up. So inhale, reach your arms up. Lift your right knee up for one-legged Tadasana. Bring a gentle bend into your left knee, your standing leg. Gaze forward, and then slowly start to step back into a high lunge. From here, bring the back heel down, moving into a Virabhadrasana, warrior one pose. You can heel toe that left foot out to the left side and then work on drawing both of your hips and shoulders square to the front of the mat. Press through the knife edge, the outside edge of that back foot. And then here in this stillness, see if you can start to cultivate a little bit of fire. Use your breath. Find the grounding through your feet. And then let your fingers rise up. Move your gaze down to the floor about 5 feet in front of you, a mat's distance. Lift the back heel. Transition more weight forward. Keep your gaze focused and come back up into that one-leg Tadasana. You're going to want to keep a gentle bend in that front leg. And then you're going to wrap that right leg around the left. Take the right arm under the left. Garudasana, eagle pose. So this pose is also known as all-consuming. The more that you bend down into that standing leg, the easier it is to get this top, the right leg over. Maybe toes even curl around your back shin. And then keeping your fingertips either tip to palm or grabbing opposite shoulders. So keeping the bind in your arms. You'll start to lift the right leg out, hinge forward, and kick it back behind you. Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Turn those right toes down. Maybe move your gaze down just past your forearm to the ground. Press now more through that left leg. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, release your hands, bring them down. And bring your right leg down to match your left. Uttanasana, front of the mat. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. Press down through your feet. Find strength, integration. Weight comes into the right leg. Lift your left leg up. One-legged Tadasana. Find one focal point. Bend your right knee gently. Start to extend the left leg back behind you and then step back. High lunge. And then pivot the back heel down. Move the right leg a little bit over to the right. And then square your hips back forward. Again, keep your ribs drawing in, like you could suture right down the middle of your belly. Keeping everything drawing in towards midline. Press through both feet. So you want to press to the knife edge of the back to shift the weight forward, grounding your knee right over that ankle. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, finding that heat start to build. Exhale. And then looking forward, start to lift your back heel, shift forward, transitioning through that one-legged Tadasana, the little bend in that front knee, and then taking the left knee over the right. So again, I find it a little bit easier to wrap the leg around, especially if you have a lot of muscle on these bones. If this standing knee is a little bit bent, you can get the side of that foot a little bit around that calf. And then left arm under the right. Varundasana, eagle pose. All-consuming, balancing posture. And arms can also just be hands to shoulders. Feel a nice opening, a stretch in your upper back. And then keeping your arm variations, start to unwind your left leg and then begin to kick the left leg back, hinging forward. Once the left leg comes back, toes down so the hips are square. Press through the right foot so you lift, bringing your belly off of that thigh. Stretch your fingertips forward or elbow tips forward. Gaze straight down so your spine is long. Breathe in. Slowly unwind your hands, bring them down to the mat. Exhale, left leg down to meet the right. Whew. And then from here, heel toe your feet out wide. Gentle bend in your knees. Bring your ribs down inside your thighs and then sway side to side. Letting that energy, that heat start to flow out, start to dissipate. Relax your hands down. Heel toe your feet. Hip width distance apart and then toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, come down into a Malasana. Your heels can always be lifted too if that's easier for you tonight in Malasana. Stretch your arms forward. And then walk your hands behind you. Gently guide yourself down. Extend your feet, toes are still out, heels in, and arms down by your side. Let your body rest down here on the mat. Release control of your breath. Let it flow in and out of your nose. Without constriction, without elongation. Feel your shoulders release. Palms way down. Toes turn out. Slowly curl your fingertips in towards your palm. Draw your knees up, plant your feet on the mat. And let both knees drop to one side. Gently roll yourself over and up to a comfortable seat. Did that mean you too? Okay. Down. Bring your palms together to heart center. Gently draw your thumbs up to third eye center, finding again that spot that was resting on the mat earlier. Be curious. Follow your bliss. Namaste.